Hey guys, welcome to another stream. Tonight I'm going to be starting a new build. Had the first two packs from the Iron Man from Fanhome for over a month. So I've gotten the second shipment in. So there's another 4 packs, so for a total of 6. Not sure if I'm going to build them all tonight or not. I'm not sure if I'm going to build them all or not tonight. Probably will if that's how long if that's how far I get. In case you're wondering, I was just looking over here and my copy of the stream was at 5 minutes behind, and I was like, am I lagging? And I'm like, no, okay, let me catch it up. So a lot went on this weekend. If you watch us on the Sunday stream, there were 5 of us. Eric finished, for the most part, I think he finished his Boba Fett. I did a lot more work on the space shuttle, actually just the tower. Hey Shu, welcome. Glad you made it. No, Donnie was working on, I think it was a B-17. I didn't catch what Spence was working on. I know he was working on boards this weekend, and I don't remember what Shu was working on, but good stream. We had a good time. Like I said, did a lot more on the space shuttle than I expected. I was planning on starting back on the F-16, but I didn't. But you can see here, the space shuttle tower in all its glory. I'll do another shot to where you can actually see further. All the scaffolding parts are now on here. Everything is lit. Everything is working. I'm ecstatic with how this is coming together because the street lights I'm putting on it are difficult sometimes. Bunch of things, yeah. I think we all were, Mark. So it was a good stream. I highly recommend if you want to just drop in, and especially if you're on Discord, we're not. Anybody can drop in and build for a couple hours there. And we have a good time. We all chat. We've got, let me think, we've had a total of 5 of us so far. And if you drop in, I'll add you to the title card because you never know when you might come in. And then, let me think, haven't worked on the Titanic at all. Haven't worked on the F-16 Enterprise. I finished pack 7 last week. Haven't heard anything yet from Eagle Moss about Enterprise. I've got more parts for the Ghostbuster car on the way. I've also got more parts on hand, so I'm going to do some work on it here in the next week or so. Got to get onto the F-16. It's up above me because that's a group build on HLI. Great place to go. Hobby Link International, if you don't know what it is. A great place to go. Great place to meet other modelers. Fantastic. Let me think. Anything else important going on? No, not really. And just to let you see, move over. I think. No, it's Droid Cam that gets screwed up. I'm just, on the Discord, when we do the live streams on Discord, we have to flip our cameras for them to work right through Droid Cam. So that poster over there on the wall or on the door next to the full-size Enterprise poster, that came with this build. When I opened it, I love Iron Man. When I opened the box, I was like, okay, that's got to go up on the wall. So let me switch cameras, and everything is in the box. I'll show you everything that everything that came with it. Donnie is frustrated. I just saw his post on Discord. Wrong button there. Just saw. Actually, let me. There's a little bit more of the tower, and you can see how the lights are all lit up, or all the floors have lights. I did this part, which actually connects to the, I want to say, I forget what it's called, but it's the part where they load things into the shuttle bay. And then these are all in These lights were interesting to do. Don't go out. These street lights and then the lights down inside of here, they were interesting to do. It was kind of funny. I was putting the street lights on. I still need to put railings up here. But as I was putting the street lights on, this part broke apart, which made it a whole lot easier to put lights inside of it. So let's flip over to the Droid Cam, which is top down. Unlike the Iron Man, I did open this one. Iron Man was actually the first, not Iron Man, sorry. The Terminator was the first. Yep, hang on just a second. Let me flip the picture here on Droid Cam. There. The Terminator. Hey Kenny, welcome. The Terminator was the first model I started on a stream. And on the Terminator, I had 5 or 6 months worth of packs that I held on to, did not open prior to my first stream, just because, you know, it was, for me, it was exciting. I don't know whether it was exciting for everybody else or not. I don't know if anybody appreciated it, but it was fun. It was a thing to do. So, this has been opened, you can see here, and the poster on the wall, but I wanted to let you guys see everything that's in here. So, I'm going to open it. First thing, 2 things that were in, and I think they were actually on the bottom. This, unlike the Terminator and the Ghostbusters and the Enterprise, each of these comes as a separate pack, separate magazine. Comes with batteries. This, I believe, is pack 1, and this, I will tell you, yeah, it's got the screwdriver in it. This helmet in itself, these two, the helmet and the foot here were the demonstration ones. The helmet by itself, I think, is cool as hell. I was really upset when they didn't release the test, or the test ones in the States, because I love the way this looks. Because I got in early, I should be having a speaker come that looks like Iron Man's head. And this, they actually, more batteries. This was actually, I believe, from the UK, where they have it on a big card with the magazine and everything else. This is pack 2. And then a couple of flyers, and we'll look at the flyers in just a second. I'm going to get this box out of the way. And they're doing it a little bit different, because the first shipment was like, what was it? Instead of $1.99 plus a couple of bucks in shipping, it was like $8, because it was the shipment parts, the shipping charges and everything. And then the second shipment is $44 versus the $60 that it's going to be regularly, because 3 and 4, I think I also got a discount on. So, journey begins here. Iron Man Mark III armor, the one that you see him the most in, I believe. Just dear modeler, a welcome thing. And this is, like I said, guys, Fanhome. If you don't know what Fanhome is, it is D'Agostini, who does did a lot of the Star Wars kits. They're moving a lot of their stuff over to the Fanhome site instead of the Model Space site. They used to be on Model Space. They're now calling it Fanhome. They're not putting everything there. They're putting most everything there, though. And I just like to keep up with, see what my video is showing out there. And right now it's okay. There it goes. It was lagging. Sorry, I was looking at the video to make sure it wasn't messing up. But yeah, it's D'Agostini. They used to be Model Space. Now they're doing it through Fanhome. So I'm gonna have to stop looking at that video because it screwed me up. Used to be D'Agostini on Model Space. They've taken a lot of their kits, a lot of the not ship kits off of Model Space and put them onto Fanhome, like the Charger from Fast and the Furious is over there now. Iron Man was never on Model Space. They're supposed to be coming out with the R2-D2. I think they're going to do the Millennium Falcon and the X-Wing there as well. And I have heard that the newest release that's going to be coming, I don't know how soon, is going to be the AT-AT Walker. That's what I've heard. I've seen some scuttlebutt about that. So this is how it works. Oh yeah. I remember as I was looking through this, I was like, this is a pretty cool flyer. Like I said, there's the Toretto's Charger. R2-D2. Love the way they fold this out. Like it enough, I'm probably going to keep it. I've kept all the paperwork with all the models so far. Okay, so showed you the parts. Let's get into this. Open the magazine. You know, Origin of the Hero. Haven't read any of this. I do, you know, eventually I will read these, but it shows, you know, it's parts from the first movie. I think this is, with Obadiah Stane, I think this is the second movie. And it shows what parts you have, and then step-by-step instructions. These magazines, I think, are really cool. They're part of the deal that you get. Eventually, I need to read all of them. But, you know, it is pretty awesome. Well, Volume 1, 200. Oh, just saying it's an epic issue. So let me bring the parts back and look at them and start getting them built. I think it's really awesome that they include the batteries. So far, Obadiah was the first. Okay. I wasn't sure. That's right. Obadiah was the first, and then it was that Russian guy that wanted his board. His board. And I think it's only these first two that are carded like this, and then it's going back to the regular plastic envelope from here on out. As you can, if you can't see all this, but it's Italy, Poland, United Kingdom. Can't tell what that says. Oh, Spain, Portugal, France, Germany, Czech Republic, Hungary. So that they are distributing these everywhere. And they're all coming from GB's home country, I believe. They come from England as far as I know. Or Great Britain, because it depends on where you're in the Isles. Or is it, no, it's United Kingdom. So. And of course, I'm looking at the helmet. This is pack 2. I opened the wrong pack, guys. I didn't know you were Czech. I didn't know that you were Czech. Kenny, I mean, I thought you were Irish with that hair, to be honest. For me, it's Germany and all over Europe. Same here. I'm a mutt too. I'm 5/8 German because my dad was full German, first generation born in America. My grandparents on his side emigrated from Germany right before World War II. And then my mom was is a quarter German, And then the rest is, as I say, Heinz 57. Just mixed up all over the place. It's been hot and humid everywhere, GB. Right now it's 86 degrees outside. We actually have weather warnings for the next couple of days. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 90 degrees, 90 or 95 with a, what was it, heat index of 105. Okay, so the first thing you do is take out the helmet itself, the main part of the mask. And I love this screwdriver. Very cool screwdriver as far as I'm concerned. Let me move this out of the way because a lot of, just to give me space here. And this time, this isn't like the Enterprise where I'm putting a whole bunch of little windows in. I do not want to mar the finish on this at all. And so it's the first part that goes in here, and it's called it's a support post. And what this does, it supports the back of the helmet, I believe. I think there's actually that there is actually a screw hole in it. It'll focus. Yeah, you can see that hole. I believe that's a screw hole there. And there's some screws holes down there on those lugs. A couple of screw holes in here. And I do not have, doping me, guess I'm going to keep them in the plastic bags for right now. I do not have a screw holder. It's been a while since I've started a model. So let me get all the screws and put them over here. And I know that they're going to provide. No, I don't get Stark to fit in there. I mean, if you whipped him up in the blender, he might fit. And so it's 2 EM screws. I'm willing to bet that they are sticking with the same convention as they do with the other models, where anything that says M, any screw that ends with an M is going to be going to metal, and anything with a P is going to go into plastic. And I've seen one of the guys I watch building stuff, Wayne on World of Wayne. He is always dipping his screws into 3-in-1 oil. I don't have any. It's a rip-off because there's no Stark, huh? I don't have any 3-in-1 oil, so if it gets to where I can't get screws to go in, I've got some WD-40. I may decant it into a bowl and we'll go from there. It's a rip-off because there's no Stark. That's funny. And if I remember right, he got to a certain point on here and found out that there's 2 ways. I mean, there obviously are 2 ways to put this post in here, but apparently if you don't put the post in here the right way, it won't fit together right. Hopefully I've got it the right way. It's still a little bit loose. Wow, way loose. Just got to make sure I don't snap off the screw heads. Okay, there's one. That one's tight. And very close. Pure German. That's cool, Mark. Still loose. It feels like the one on the left-hand side is the one that's loose. That's cool, GB. Sad that you've got COPD and asthma, but it's good that you've got a way to get around it. I'm going to back this one off because it's going in, but it's not going all the way down. I'm going to back both of them off. And I'm going to get the WD-40 like I mentioned. Let's see if I can get those screws to go in a little bit better. Silicone. Use just the regular blue can WD-40. Oh, ow, that hurt my foot. Remember when they didn't make these little cans like this? Donnie, you made it! How many people did you kill? Indeed. It's just started and already killing myself. No, it's that I've got two chairs in here. Actually, I've got a chair and a stool. They happen to be Iron Man, by the way. But I've got a chair and a stool. And I'm using the stool right now. Oh, you're still on the way home. You're just you're texting while you're in traffic. Cool. Just don't get caught, man. Come on. Oh, there it is. Did you hear that? That's metal. So let me try this again. See if it'll go in there. Wouldn't be a live stream if I wasn't having problems. Seems like it might be going in just a hair better. Yes, that's what red lights are for. That feels like it went a lot easier. I may have to start taking that as the way to do my screws going into metal. Much better. Yeah, see now it's actually not wobbling at all, and before it was just wobbling all over the place. So looks like my metal screws are gonna get dipped in yes, red light buttons. There will be none of that tonight, Kenny. I am wearing a shirt. Okay, so the next part that goes in is this little LED and switch assembly. I remember watching Wayne have a little bit of an issue with this thing. I mean, it is, or it looks really, really fragile. So that's going to be another EM screw. Get the screw out first. and I'll show you the part. Elaine said boring. What? Buck minis are boring? Fine. I'm fine with that, actually. Tiles are down and it gets grouted tomorrow. That is awesome. So, here's the battery compartment. It fits... I'm not sure if it's the 3 or the 2. I want to say one. I know one takes 3, the other one takes 2. This one might be 1. But there's the battery compartment, screw hole here. The other lug here is where the screw is that's gonna screw in. And so I just lay it in there, and you can see there's a rough outline of the battery compartment, and this one piece that sticks out right here that fits into this groove here. I believe, yeah, there's a screw hole in there, so I think that's actually how that is going to get held, also get held in, is by the little door is going to be on there for the screws. Ah, boring because I have no shirt on, or because I have a shirt on. I appreciate that, Elaine. So let me tighten this in there. Vinny's gone Friday, but is he gone for good? He's coming back, isn't he? Okay, so that's in there, and it's actually pretty firmly in there with just that one screw. And you can see there's the battery hatch right there. Next part that goes in, wow, there's even more screws. I thought I grabbed them. I already grabbed them all from the boot. So there's more EM screws, some EPs. Let me just bring all the screws over here. Yes, YouTube is your friend, except for you have nowhere to build at right now. So here's the lens, the white lens that goes over the eyes. And you can see, maybe you can see. There, you can see that there's 2 clips on the end there that'll hold it in place. So it'll pop in here and here. Make sure. Not set in place as well as I thought it was. It popped back out. Make sure that they're snapped in this time on both sides. Oh, and hey Jalen, welcome. I just realized I did not mean to ignore you and Kelly Elaine. Hello, welcome to the stream. Kenny mentioned that you're listening, so hi. Yeah, we will have to go and build his shop for him. So if you look, actually push it from the inside, pretty secure in there. I'm not going to push very hard, but it is secure in there. And then part E1. What is part E1? Ah, LED support. It looks smaller than it is. So this is part E1. Sorry if I paused there for a minute. A couple of screw holes there. Support I believe, for the nose, and then 2 holes there for the LEDs to go through. Yeah, this is going to go out towards the nose. The LEDs are square, or they should be square. Otherwise, I'm putting round pegs into square holes. I'm just looking how this thing is going to go in there. Okay. So the notch on this piece here is going to go towards the top. Pop an LED into each one of these. They are round pegs. They are fitting into square holes, but they're fitting actually pretty well. Make sure the switch doesn't get caught down inside there. And then there's 2 posts here with screw holes in them. But those 2 spots for the screws are going to go in. Like I said, notch goes to the top, fits right in there. There's a groove in the metal, and they're sitting on top of the posts for the screws. And it is, again, 2 amp screws. I know, I'm waiting for those boards, Kenny. How am I supposed to be the first one and grab them all up if you don't post them? Not that I'm going to grab them all up, but Shu seems to like to think so. So let me go through the plastic piece. That one's in. I'll double check its tightness in just a second. Something I may eventually do, actually, no, I'm not going to, because it's not, nothing is going to get in there to jar them loose. The LEDs are a snug fit, but they could still slide out. But there's not going to be anything in there to pull them out of the holes. So I was thinking maybe I'd super glue them, but they should be fine without it. So let me double check. Yeah, that's firm in there. And so we have the lights for the eyes set in place. And you can see the 2 screws down there holding them in. Let me put this over here. Helmet base and switch. If I can get this part out. So this is the helmet base, and you get no, I already bought them all. Boy, that's pretty awesome. That is really awesome. You're right. Boyd is very loyal to Tenant Controls. Yay! Welcome, Donnie. Finally made it to the stream. I've told you before, you need to talk to your bosses and tell them you got to get off at such and such time. So you've got these 3 posts are going to fit into these 3 holes. So that it's going to have screws go through there and hold it down. And it's going to be AP screws. I'm just looking because I have all the screws over here. There's the APs. So going to be 3 APs. It looks like there's 4 in here, and I'm sure that 1 is a spare. I'm not going to oil these screws because they're into plastic. That's another thing. When you're building these, make the your Tamiya drill. Oh, that's not good. The Tamiya drill is awesome. I love my little. Talking about this, Jalen? I love my little Tamiya drill. As a matter of fact, yesterday I took it and actually used it somewhere else in the house to drill a hole in the wall. It was easier than grabbing a full-size drill. Died after. Check your batteries. I know mine has gone through batteries at times, but either that or the switches. And my blue one's been going good for a long time, but if you buy the gray one, which is actually, they call it it's not a handy drill, it's a handy grinder. It comes with a grinding tip. I have to lock it out because the trigger does not work very well, and I burnt out batteries that way. So just make sure you lock it off. Lock it in the off position. This one should, yeah, it has the same thing. So if you turn it to lock it, it won't engage the trigger, and your batteries will stay better longer. Yeah, Mark, this one is made by them as well. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just, I guess it's a little bit more powerful motor. No, it works fine for finer details. It's not fast enough to do anything bad to the plastic, like melt it. But I also have this one here, because this one, out of your handheld Dremels, this one actually goes down to, oops, I went the wrong way. This one starts out at, I want to say it is 3,000, where most of them start out at 5,000. And it's got a light. Okay, so this is now on here. 2 EM screws. Looking at where it's going, where it's saying, so it's going to go this side up. 2 EM screws. It shows in the back. Oh, you know what? I'm grabbing the top of the helmet. It is nice. I like it. It was, and it cheap. I think I paid like $20 for it. Okay. So here you got a flat piece of metal, fits into this tab or into the slot here. Screw hole, 2 screw holes. The screws will go through the 2 screw holes back there, and it'll go in there just like that. And that will be held in by EM screws again. I know you like your Hyper Tough. I've looked at it, and I will tell you guys, the reason I am leery of Dremel type tools when drilling in plastic is my 350 scale Titanic has multiple size portholes, because on the lowest speed I was still picking up or melting the plastic. oil in there. I was melting the plastic, and so some of my portholes got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I actually hand drilled most of the ones on the 200. I believe it's going to be really nice, and it's funny because when I posted the links, I actually have comments from people saying that it's a cool build, it's a really nice build, it's one of the best ones out there. I will tell you, when I first saw it, I was like, I want that. Damn it, it's only in France. There went my PG rating. So that fits in there just like that. I'm doing something I don't do near that much. I am actually reading instructions because there's a lot of reading to go with this. One base plate. So that's really funny. Looks like a larger piece, but this thing is tiny. Actually, these, and I don't think, set that down for a second there. I think that those are identical. I just want to make sure. Nope, they're not. Okay. One has a magnet on it. So here, there's a post here to fit this very small part onto. And there's a little tab there. That little tab, looking, and I don't see, okay, it's D-shaped. So there's only one way it'll go on here. It should go on here. D-shaped there. So that sits on there like that, and this little tab here is what's going to engage the switch to turn on the helmet, to turn on the eyes. So let me find BP screws. Take one of the BP screws out. Very carefully, because I don't want to lose that switch part and I don't want to damage it. Screw that down to where it's snug. And there's nice detailing on the outside. That's snug on here. And on the one side you've got a magnet here. On this other side is where the switch goes. Post towards the base plate. So this is a base plate. This post here goes down towards the base plate. It says chat disconnected. Please wait while we reconnect you. So inside the base plate, right there, is a little rectangular spot where that's going to fit. So let me drop that in there. And finally reconnect to the chat. So that's going to fit in there like that and look like that on the side of the helmet. And this is where we put the top and the bottom of the helmet together. I'm just looking, there's on the switch here, focus, so you can see it there from the top. You can see that black plastic triangle. That's where it's actually going to engage with that switch piece. I'm just looking to see, the picture has it like that. That's That's going to be really tight. Getting it in there. Might help if I get those disengaged with the post. Hate to do that, but I got to peel a little bit of the wire apart to fit this in here. So let me get a BP screw out. Like I said, the plastic part has to engage with this switch. It goes in there like that. Ah, okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to where you can see it. Come on. Focus. There. You can see that little bump there on the switch. There's two holes in this base plate. Right there. One for the screw, the one towards the side, or towards the earpiece that I put on, is where the other one goes, so that this has to flip over like this and go down in there. Missed. It's a little bit fiddly. I think I've got it in there. No, I don't. See, unlike, I'm brave, I do this stuff on live streams so that when something goes wrong, you guys see it just as much as I do. It's not quite there. Let's see. I'm going to take that part back out and see if I can get it in there without the earpiece in there. That's got it in there and it slipped back out. Damn it. It was in there for a second. Okay, now it's in there. I'm going to very gently, tentatively, however you want to put it in. I'm not tightening it all the way back down because I want to make sure this is actually going to fit back in there. It is in there. Let me make sure that the screw's all the way down. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this to where you can see it. There, you can see the tab. It's right up against the triangle, and when you push it, it makes contact. It doesn't look like it's actually coming out of contact, though. I wonder if that's all the way down. 'Cause it seems like it should might need to be further in. Of course, now I'm never going to get it back on here. Well, that's just far down is this going to go? Let me loosen this back up. It just doesn't seem like it's going to disengage. So I wonder if I maybe missed that post. Feels like it's engaged. Doesn't look like it. I'm going to take this screw all the way back out. I don't know if the chat has broken or not, because I haven't seen any chat in a while. And it did disconnect me from the chat for a couple minutes, so hopefully nobody's asking me questions and I'm not seeing them. Oh, good. Thanks, Jalen. I feel better now. So yeah, that's in the right spot. That's so close. Might end up adjusting that switch later on. So let me put this together. Something's not quite lining up right. And you know what? I think maybe. Let me see if that screw will go in there first before I start pulling things apart. So it takes yeah, understand that. I do the same thing, Jalen. And Donnie would be more. I know, Donnie. I was waiting for you to mention the Enterprise. I was shocked you hadn't already. So let me see. Feels like it's going in. But it's not. Try this one more time and see. Yes, this is the one that came with the kit. Hopefully it will last a while. I agree, Donnie. The first time I saw this kit, I knew I was going to buy it. I think I'm having, and there went the earpiece. I think I'm having the exact same problem that Wayne had on when he did his. When he did his, actually looking at these front, when he did his, he ended up having to take that post out to get it to fit. That's what I heard. I'm looking forward to doing the fingers. And I've seen that there are some packs that are just like it's only fingers, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's got it. Put these other two in. Let me put some oil on this one. I know it's WD-40. I told you guys that at the start. I'm going to call it oil. It's faster than saying WD-40. I think that switch just moved even further out than I thought it was going to. Bandai doesn't only do, well, actually I think they do mainly Gundam now, but they don't only do Gundam. I have their all 4 of the Star Trek lit ships that they did. I love them, except for they were a little bit more work than I expected. They all needed super glue. Now, to actually get them to go completely together, I had to super glue all of them. So that is with the base of the head on, and where I was thinking this thing was always going to be engaged, it actually has some pretty far play. So now put a battery. So he gets a single battery. I think it's kind of nice that they provide the batteries. I don't think any of the other kits did. And then positive, so the flat side with the bump is the negative. Positive is the flat side, and so the positive side goes against the spring. Although there would be room for more batteries than that in there. So, nice. It does actually turn far enough to turn it off. That's impressive. So I got that in there. Here's the battery door. The battery door has a magnet on top of it. Remember the little U piece I mentioned a while ago? That is where this piece drops in on top of, and it is a screw hole, and it uses another EP screw. Again, EP going into plastic. And I do have more containers for batteries. I just need to do things like take the DeLorean battery, or not batteries, screws. Take the DeLorean screws out of the one for the ones that I use for the DeLorean, because DeLorean's been done for a while. That way I can do my normal next time, and next time I do the Iron Man and put away screws first. Very small screw. And that's in there, and now that battery door is held in place. Interestingly enough, it never tells you to put this part on, and I could have sworn I did see that part. Tile Monster 0, me 1. It never said to put the other earpiece on, and it's just held on with a magnet. Let me see, does it have any specific way that it goes around? Okay. Some of the guys will enjoy this. I'm going under the bench again. Dropped this piece underneath there. Now I got to get the hair off of it. So there is an indent, or there's a channel right here, and a spot right there that matches up with it, so that that's on the right way. And so the earpieces on either side match. This one doesn't move. This one turns on the light. Oh, it does say it right there. I just didn't get to it yet. And then you can see there's a spot inside where the glass, as we call it, will fit right in. And those eyepieces actually pop right in there without any issue whatsoever. They just slid in there. And that's an EM screw, because so this part here is metal. And based on what the clock says, we are not going to get beyond stage 2 tonight, which I'm okay with that. This helmet took a little bit longer than I expected, but that's okay. Tighten that down. Those are in there. And so there's a magnet here on the back that lines up with this magnet here, locking that in there. And now when I turn on the lights, that is very, very awesome. I love that. And like I said, when I first saw this build, when they released the test run, I so bad wanted this build just for the helmet. I think that is very awesome. So I'm going to set him down here. And, well, showed this earlier a little bit more in the magazine. Let me set this one off to the side and get the second one. More on the creation of Iron Man. This time in the comics versus the movie. Thanks, Jalen. Thanks, Mark. Welcome, Einfach Gregor. I'm guessing from your name that you are German. First thing that happens, and let me see, which part is this? This is part 2A, which is, yeah. That's what I figured. Was over there for about 16 years with the military. Loved it over there, miss it. So, there's the left foot, and it is pretty hefty. If you listen, that's metal. Metal on glass. So, and then 2M, which is the ankle joint. That's the ankle joint. And I see a keyway in there, so something is going to slide in there. And I'm just looking at how this is going to go in here. These two detail screws I'm looking at it upside down. So the ankle goes upside down like this. There's a magnet right here. And these two detail screws will go in from when the magnet's away from you, they'll go on the left-hand side. That's not bad. The ankle is going to rotate right and left. And I'm pretty sure here is where it's going to rotate forward and back. Ankle joint should sit face the inside of the foot. 2L is the ankle joint cover. I believe. Oh yeah, that's it. With 4 EM screws. So it's a plastic piece. It's got a indentation here for the rounded spot here, and then there's 4 screw holes there, 4 screw holes in this part. So it'll drop on here. And actually, where the 2 pins that come out of the front and back, there's parts there to hold that down to make sure it stays in place. As long as you can actually get the screws in first. So let me get out 4 EM screws. That's way more than 4. Actually, it's only, was close, it was 5. Dip the first one in. I'm going to start this one, and then I'm going to start the one cross corner from it. So that once those 2 are started, it'll actually hold everything together where it's supposed to be. If I can get this one lined up. That's better. So I've got those ones are started, and I'm going to get the other 2 in before I tighten them all down. That is important. Breathing is very important because if you don't breathe, you pass out, you fall on the model, you break it, you wake up, you're really pissed off at yourself. Come on. Wasn't going in the first time, I think. No, it's not going in this time either. I have a feeling it just doesn't look right. Although I can see the hole where this one's supposed to go into. Exactly. Do anything but break the model. That's better. That's threading in there. I don't know if you guys, don't know if the microphone picked that up, but my shoulder just popped. Those are good. Make sure these two are good. That one's down. And that one's down. So, not really loose, which is good, but it still lets the foot move left and right. And now it's time to work with the foot LED assembly. I don't think the helmet had a board to it. The foot does, and it also has just a push button switch. I can feel it when I push it. And the LED, tiny, tiny board. Smaller than an HLI FX01. Matter of fact, here, let's compare. There's the FX01. There's the board for this, the foot. So the switch is a small compartment as shown here. Okay. And that's where the wire goes out. So here, right here, is this compartment for the switch, and there's a groove right here for the wire to go out. Actually, there's two grooves, but it doesn't show the wire going out through either of them. But it looks like this doesn't really show. I'm guessing, I want to guess that the wires should go out the back, come up on the back side like that. And then it says to take the battery box, which has one screw hole on it. There's one screw right there. Lug to hold it in place. That screw hole goes right, matches up with that one right there. I think, yeah, that's the only spot it could go. Very gently move those leads a little bit so that I can actually get this in there. Interesting. Doesn't show it, but this tab right here lines up between these two wires, between the wires of the switch, and it'll hold the switch down in place. That is very skillful, I guess would be a good word for it. It's very interesting engineering there. Had to bend this one lead a little bit more so that I could actually get it in there. And my droid cam's not focusing. Hang on. Yeah. Come on. Let's see if this will do it. Nope. Okay, zooming it in and back out, got it to focus. I saw it, Donnie, I saw it. Okay. So like I said, that's holding that in there, and it uses a or N AM screws. Work really close to the camera, or just mess with it enough to where it comes back. You and I both know the foibles of the droid cam. Works really well when it works well, but when it starts screwing up, it gets to be a pain in the behind. So, dip in oil. Tighten that screw down. And that's, excuse me, that's that. Like I said, it is now holding that switch in. And actually, you know what? That's why, because this is a momentary switch. If I rotate it out, if I rotate it on, you have to rotate it on and off. Whereas that one is a pressure switch, and I'm grabbing the wrong thing. That's this one. So, on and off, you actually have to rotate the switch. This one, being a push button, is going to turn on and stay on. So 2C, 2E, and 2D. 2D is the screen. I don't see any plastic on it. I'm going to guess that there isn't. So 2C is the sole of the foot. And you've got that spot in the center there for where the screen goes. And it is actually, yeah, it's a snug fit. That's not done yet. I wonder. It's a really snug fit. There's no side, one side or the other to it. It just needs to be pushed down pretty freaking hard. And I'm looking, I could try and show you this, but it probably wouldn't work. There's one spot where it's up just a hair over on this side. That's got it in there. Nice, good, loud pop. And so that's what it looks like in there. And what I was doing was I was looking around the edges, and there was a discernible gap on this corner. And then this little propeller hat looking thing, whatever you want to call it. It's, let's see, what is it? It's the LED holder, and this round area is what's going to let it spread the light to the whole lens. This, I almost think this could have been silvered inside to make the light spread a little bit better. Gets laid on here like that. Here, there's a couple. Oops, almost dropped it. There's a lug here and a lug here. Very small screw holes. These are AM, and M again being standing for metal. Doesn't look like this goes. There's an either. Looks like it should be able to go either way. These are the AM screws. Get a little bit of oil on them. I do have to say that the magnet could be just a hair stronger to hold the screws. So here's the first one. I'm just putting it in a little bit before I put the second one. I'm going to tighten the second one all the way down. That's snug. And since these are metal, I could go further, but then there's the possibility of breaking the plastic on the piece itself. And that's how that looks. So this, just looking, doesn't show anywhere specific for the board, the LED. It just pushes in, and it's actually pretty snug. And like that. It would help if I was putting this on the right way. This flat part here goes towards the toe. And just one wire has to go through here. Actually, sorry, it is two wires. One is the power wire. From the battery box itself. I do not like the way that's going to go, so I pushed that one up actually to get it to fit in there. Those of us who do wire lighting on our own all understand the foibles of making sure that you're not screwing up your wiring. Okay, that's set in there flat. Like I said, one wire here and then the power wire coming off the battery box. These are set flush down inside to where you can't see the seam when he's standing on his foot. And that would be two more AM screws. One. Two. Again, a little bit of oil. I just have to remember not to use this shot glass when I make a drink. That would be really bad. That one's tight. The foot is actually going together a whole lot faster than the face did. So those are in there and not going anywhere. Still got the ankle joint free with free play. So the toe cap, I need 2 times 2H, 2 times 2G, and 1 times 2F. So this is 2F, this is the toe itself. Actually, let me give you guys a little bit better look at the toe. That's the toe. This is where the parts that I'm getting out right now are going to go into these 2 circular areas, and there's no screws on here. So it's actually, all of it's going to be through this screw hole here. Very tiny screw holes. That one there, that one there, probably AM screws. These are 2H, just because, let me see what it says 2H is. Oh, toe joints, and 2G is covers. These are actually magnetic, so I'm guessing that these are going to grab hold based on the screw that's in there. So hang on. Place red toe joint. So it says put these in here. Hold them. That just doesn't sound right. Okay, I'm about to do this wrong. So here on the side of the foot, that's where these red parts go. I get one on either side, and supposedly when you slide the toe over, it will click in place. Don't see much or hear much of a click or feel much of a click. But I know they're in place. Fixed with okay, fix in place with 2 times 2H, so, wait. Oh, CM screws, sorry. I didn't hear one. Don't think it was you. It was the part. I didn't hear a click. So what you're saying is I am as deaf as I think I am. Because I literally did not hear a click. Or was it one of your joints, Jalen? But just to make sure, the screw goes into either side here. And I don't think that that's actually in the right spot. There. I can see through the screw hole. Just a foot of iron. Okay, I'll take your word for it. a saw on one side. I don't see it on this side because it's shifted. You can see through the screw hole, or through the hole. The screw holes actually go all the way through the main part of the foot. When I get the screw lined up, it should thread in there. And I don't want to over tighten it because I want the foot to be able to move. That's actually, I'm pretty sure that's red Teflon there. Double check and make sure they're both tight. Okay. And there's the screws inside there on either side. And the toe has some pretty good play on it, actually. It won't once the battery and stuff is in here. And then over top of those, you can see some really, really tiny holes there above and below the screw. There are pins on these parts to match. Like I said, there's a magnet in the center. And it is actually grabbing to the metal of the screw. I was able to push it just a hair further in, so that it's got the joints done. So there's the sole under the toe cap, and it just has two screw holes here, nothing on the back side. The screws will fit into these two screw holes. So it'll just set in here like this. And it is 2 more AM screws. See ya, Kenny. I'll still be here for a little bit. Let's see, just not typing. Only one of you should be driving at a time. Though it could be interesting. How many batteries? Just one 24-volt battery. No, Eric is not building this. On these two pieces, there's only 6 batteries? Because there's going to be 3 batteries, I believe, in each foot. Or is it? No, it says insert a battery. Okay. One is used for the foot. The others will be used in the right hand. And okay. So yeah, that's going to be 6 batteries. 1 in each foot, 1 in each hand, 1 in the head, and 1 in the chest. They're going to do all the armor from Iron Man 3? I wouldn't mind that. Kenny's still here. Kelly's driving. I won't say anything about Kenny putting his life in his own hands. Sorry, Kelly. Don't hate me. Actually, you both driving in New York and Jersey, you're both putting your life in your hands all the time you drive, I think. I've driven in LA a couple of times. I've driven in Chicago. Never driven in New York, but I can imagine. Chicago, if you're on the freeway, if you're doing the speed limit, you're going to have an accident because somebody's going to run over you. They might have been able to, but it probably wouldn't have been able to get some of the articulation. So once the toe cap is on, it says to make sure the Iron Man can still tap his foot, and he can, along to the beat of the music. It actually shows it going. They've got it going up a little bit higher. Let me see. Yeah, it could go higher. It can go as far as that. Yes. To AC/DC, that would be awesome. Yeah. But actually, I want to say, not too bad. These CR1025s, I want to say we picked up 15 of these things for under $5. Okay, so take one of these batteries. Looking. That way I don't have to keep packaging I don't need. Iron Man and heavy metal, indeed. Just like in the movie. And again, positive is going to go towards the spring. Or the whole battery is just going to go on the floor. I love the way my shop is set up. The DeLorean doesn't drain the batteries for mine because I bought an electrical adapter. It's 3 or 4 battery shaped things that then plug into the wall. And actually, Iron Man should come with an arc reactor. I didn't put the battery cover on yet, but you can see that he lights up pretty good. Once the battery's in there, the little battery cover. That's what's going to suck, is making sure you have a screwdriver that is going to fit into these holes. And that is again an EP screw. So 2 bags out of many. Yeah. Well, and Donnie, with the size of these batteries and where the so far where the wires would run, it would not be hard to mod this. You know, for any of us in the HLI community, to mod to run a wire from here, not even bothering with the switch. Just run a wire from here, a wire from here, down through here somewhere, probably. Oh! Dropped Iron Man's face. Quick reaction. Note to self, face does not hold on very well. But right here, we could drop a wire. I could drop a wire through here. I might eventually do that, actually. And eventually run everything off of a power supply. Kind of changed it. And that's one of the things, is I'm not big into using batteries a whole lot. So this fits on here like that. I believe that sucks. It doesn't quite. It doesn't quite with this part in place. Oh, magnet here, magnet on the bottom here. And this is just plastic, by the way, so you don't want to push on it too much. But it would be great if you could push on it and have it turn it on. You actually have to remove it and push the button to turn it on. Let me show you that the other way. So, see, I'm pushing where, if it was set up right, or set up the way I would set it up, it would engage that switch. Wouldn't be that hard to make a mod though and just put a post there. Models suck batteries indeed. So I got a few screws left. Look, I have a little cup I can put my screws into. By the next time I do the Iron Man, I will have screw containers. And that is the end of stage 2. Issue 2, however you want to call it. Okay, and I'm back. OBS just disconnected and reconnected. With the lights in the head. The light in the foot. Let me go ahead and kill this light here. And it really shows up. I am loving this already. 2 issues in, I am loving this. It was on my end, Donnie. OBS shut off. OBS disconnected. So I'm going to turn this one off. Well, and that's the thing, is that there are things that they can do different on every one of these. So let me switch. Okay, guys, that is all of the further I'm going to go today. We're at an hour and 40, which used to be my average. Now I'm starting to average 2 hours every stream. It is a... Oh, stay inside then, Jalen. That's never a good scene. But, sorry, I had to. I think it's a fantastic start. I'm loving this. As soon as I saw it, it was like with the Enterprise. And I know, Donnie, I'm not doing the Enterprise, but I want to break from all those windows for a couple of weeks, maybe, not sure. But it was one of them things that I was like, uh-oh, gotta have that one. Just like the 66 Batmobile, that they're coming out with from Eagle Moss, and the Titanic. I know I've got a big Titanic. I can't work on the Enterprise now. Move this over here to where I can actually still see the chat. But no, lost my chain of thought. Let Shu get his views. I don't want to do more windows. Not really. I do, but I keep doing more and more on the Enterprise. What I really need to do is stop, back up, take some parts off, fix the windows, so that everything, so that all the parts, all the hull pieces fit. And I'm sorry, I'm almost out of camera, guys. But I got to fix the hull pieces, and then I'll be glad to go into more of the windows. I agree with Mark. I cannot wait for that Batmobile. No, Donnie. We tried to get you to buy into it. You said no. You said my bonus wouldn't go far enough. It would go halfway. I think I have one magazine. You like windows? Yeah, Windows 11 is coming. But no, I'm enjoying all of these builds. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep doing them. It's just that I need to rotate because I got to where I was doing only one thing. I was doing the Enterprise week after week, and it is a good build, but it's what good is half an Enterprise? Half an Enterprise is great because you get to build the other half still, but it gets to where a little bit overwhelming when I've got so many that are just sitting there waiting. Like the X-Wing. I haven't worked on the X-Wing in probably 4 or 5 months, and I've got all the parts for it. I'm halfway done on the X-Wing, and I've got 60 stages to go. So the X-Wing has got to get some loving soon. It's great for Eric. What's great for Eric? But I missed something. Probably something about the Pearl. I still got to do the Pearl. I love that Pearl, and I've still got a year, because the Pearl is going to be my one of my shelf queens. True, half an Enterprise is great for Eric. He'll crash it. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. I know I'm enjoying doing it. I hope X-Wing can get love. It already crashed. Yeah, the X-Wing has some issues. Before I can work on the X-Wing again, I got to do some light blocking because I dropped a part and it was 3D printed and it shattered, and so I had to glue it all back together. So it's already crashed, but it's not bad. I put it back together. I just need to do some light blocking. I've got Luke to put in it. A Hasbro 4-inch tall Luke Skywalker that they sold in the 70s. I was like, I found it. They're selling them brand new, and I was like, I need one of those because he fits. And then I really need to get on the Titanic. I've got so much money and not very much time invested in the Titanic. A lot of it was waiting on parts. Now I've got all the parts, and I just got to get off my butt and first paint the hull, then put the internals in it, the light and sound kit. Because once I have the deck on, the superstructure is going to go quick. Superstructure is not going to be that bad at all. I built the Titanic before. This one's twice the size, so it'll be a lot of fun. Trying to get on some sort of a schedule where I tried at one point to have a rotating schedule, but then I got interested in something and started building one kit and only one kit, and kind of blew my schedule. I'm just messing with this pipe here because it's supposed to be straight like this. Actually, yeah, you can't see where I'm at, but down here it was pushed in. It's supposed to be straight like this. I'm going to put it on some foam board eventually. When you get the Enterprise done, it can sink the Titanic. Indeed it can. Or it can sink on the Titanic. So, I'm going to call it a stream, guys. Like and subscribe, or don't. Completely up to you. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great night, Kenny. Speaking of which, Hobby Link International, great place to meet a lot of guys. All these guys that I chat with as we chat on the, well, not all, but as the chat goes on, many of these guys are from, and actually I think everybody's from Hobby Link International. Great place to visit, great place to join. And you've seen in most of my videos lately, Kenny is now, they're putting out lighting boards right now. We're all waiting with bated breath for the HLI FX02, which is going to be programmed for one of 3 different ships, or 3 different models. Exactly. Thanks, Donnie. But no, one of 3 different models. One's the Keaton Batwing, the Millennium Falcon, and what many of us are waiting for is a bird of prey, especially after Spencer Wolf, the one he did last year was amazing. I think this is the same type of lighting on that board. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. like and subscribe. Have a great evening and a great tomorrow. I will catch you next time, be it next Tuesday or sooner than that. You too, Gregor. Stay healthy. Good night, all, and stay safe out there. Where's my button?